What is going on, you guys? My name is Jersey or Jay, and welcome back to the channel. New game alert. We're gonna be reviewing a game that's coming very soon. It's called Remnant from the Ashes, and this is a survival action shooter 3-player co-op game that will be available for Xbox One, PC, and PlayStation 4 August 20th. I found out about this game months ago, but there really wasn't enough footage out there to sink my teeth into it. But after the E3 conference and just there's been so much dropping that there's enough now to really dive into it, and I want to show you guys and get your take on it. To give a quick summary about Remnant, the world has been thrown into chaos by an ancient evil from another dimension. As one of the last remnants of humanity, you must set out alone or alongside up to 2 other survivors to face down hordes of deadly enemies to try to carve a foothold, rebuild, and retake what was lost. And I would also like to mention Gunfire Games are the developers of Remnant from the Ashes, so just keep that in mind. What really caught my eyes about this game is, well, it is a beautiful detailed game nonetheless, but just being able to roam about and find loot lying around, that was really like putting the icing on the cake for me with this one. Now let's actually slow it down because we are getting ahead of ourselves. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night, whatever time it is. Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. Sit back, relax, let's go ahead and hop right into it. So just like I mentioned earlier, this will be a 3-player co-op game, so you will be able to play with 2 other friends. And let's just say you don't have friends to play with, I'm sure they're going to be adding in the mechanic of just searching for randoms, so I'm just saying I don't see why they wouldn't. But regardless, whether you decide to hop in alone or with 2 other friends, then there's going to be a pool of archetypes to choose from, and archetypes are kind of like your starting class for your character, where it gives you default sets of gear to wear, weapons to use, mods, traits, just to start off. So keyword starting class, so you will be able to upgrade this stuff later in game. So for an example, as you can see, this guy decided to go with the hunter archetype, and the hunter specializes in long range combat, attacking from a distance with a powerful hunting rifle as well as an auto pistol, a sword, and the hunter's mask. Now those are just presets, remember that, and that is actually pretty cool. And I guess you really couldn't call them classes because these are more of just like starting out gear, and you'll be able to find everything you see on other archetypes, and you'll be able to find way more in game. So just more of like a, here, start off with this until you build up your character. And moving on, here is a glimpse of the inventory, and remember he chose the hunter archetype, so here are his weapon placements. You have his repeater pistol, his hunting rifle, his scrap sword, and just barely below that is your gear. And yes, just like weapons, mods, traits, bandages, you'll be able to find all different types of gear throughout the world. This kind of reminds me of Division. Some of you guys played that, where you find gear and you can optimize the gear to benefit you even more. But anyway, you're able to find mixed match gear, but finding and wearing gear that match will give you a bonus to your armor. So once again, it kind of reminds me of Division. Some of you guys played it, some of you guys haven't, so I'll make a video on talking about gear more like in the future. And because this was a demo version of the game, this was only like a slice of the pie, so I don't know where and how exactly you will first spawn in the game, but I do know the exact location he's at right now is a hideout that you can actually go to with your friends, and you can also turn this into a checkpoint, and what that will do is replenish your health, your ammo, and your dragon hearts. So keep that in mind, but there is a cost. So once you decide to turn this into a checkpoint, then they're just going to spawn in enemies that you destroyed out there, so keep that in mind. And speaking of enemies, what type of enemies are we all going to be facing? Well, these little creatures right here are called Pan. That's their race, and these little guys chuck swords at you, and there will be a lot of enemies you face, from small to big to even huge bosses, so just be prepared. And he did show some gameplay of him facing a boss, so you should either be seeing it now or later in the video, and it was crazy, but it was fun at the same time. Now let's talk looting. From all the demos I've seen, I haven't really seen anybody dive into the full game because they haven't shown any footage, but from all the demos and the teasers I've seen people looting weapons, gear, bandages, scrap, traits, mods, iron. It was a lot. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more in the full game, but like I said, that's what really caught my eye, just the looting aspect, being able to just roam around and grab stuff off the ground, and bring it back and build up your gear set, or just, I love stuff like that. And that's definitely not it. When it comes down to loot, you can actually find these huge chests that's just hidden lying around, and once you go up to it, it'll explode with loot, kind of like Fortnite in a sense, but it's just, I'm sure there's gonna be just me experiencing that will be amazing. And just like a little FYI, there is sprinting, obviously, and you can also crouch, and you can move while crouching. You can dodge, which will cost stamina, and depending on which gear set you have will determine how much stamina it will cost. And like I said, I'll do a video on all that in the future. You can also take cover. Now there isn't like an auto lock of taking cover, so it's more of like a free form. So like if you decide to take cover, it's just more of you just ducking down by something opposed to it actually locking you to that surface. So just keep that in mind. And while you're ADSing, you can actually toggle your shoulder. Here's some footage of that. And lastly, yes, you can vault over objects, and the way you vault over these objects is insane. I'm actually looking forward to that. And I'm sure some of you guys are wondering how the bosses will play and how beefy they look. Well, here you go. Here's some footage of one of the guys playing, and he also mentioned that even though you may be seeing this specific boss in your playthrough, it might be different, and that's because of dynamic generation. So each playthrough should feel a little different, and I will be making a video in the future dedicated to showing you guys all the bosses, well, at least the ones we know about so far, because remember, they're not going to give everything away until the full game releases, so keep that in mind. And the cool thing about fighting bosses is that there's actually strategy to it. So, you know, like for an example, this boss would like sometimes spawn in even more little creatures, but you know, you can kind of use those creatures to your advantage, because every time you kill one, they'll drop ammo, giving you more ammo in your weapon to kill the boss. So taking on some of these bosses, you will actually have to be, you know, strategic, and I'm actually looking forward to that. So one more time, thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. And what do you think about Remnant from the Ashes? Let me know everything in the comments. Would you guys like to see more videos? This game will be dropping for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 August 20th, and if you guys want to see more videos, I'll definitely be dishing them out until the game fully released. And once it does release, I'll still be bringing out more content. Be sure to drop a like, also subscribe if you're new to my channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video, follow me on Twitter to stay updated, and if everything sounds and looks good to you, I'll be seeing you guys real soon with some more Remnant from the Ashes. Peace.